to see an RPG, whether it be Western or Japanese, start combining with it. Of course, this is kind of a hard question, seeing as a lot of RPGs are like putting their features into other games, but I'm talking about more like RPG game with other features. And one that I would really like to see, and kind of Child of Light was doing it, I would love to see like a full-on platformer mixed with some really heavy RPG features. I know it sounds weird.
No, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I would just like to have a game like Jak and Dexter or Jak go through these like really fun levels and then have like really cool story like driven moments where I have to choose shit.
That's actually a very good choice, and they would complement each other because, you know, most RPG fans have like an intense desire to like just complete everything in the game, get like max out to 100%, and platformers have a lot of fun ways to explore an environment, so it would just make like actually completing things all the more engaging.
Exactly, and I feel like games have tried, like Kingdom Hearts is a great example of trying to mix the two, but they definitely focus more on the RPG element, and I would just love to see a developer like the old school Naughty Dog or Ratchet & Clank team be like, alright, let's team up with somebody else. And like honestly, I would love Insomniac to do it. After playing Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet & Clank, I love that the RPG feature of using the weapon levels up your weapon. So add more, you know, more story-driven moments. Like Sunset, more serious, more like, oh, I do this or that. To me, that would make a game one of the coolest things. So that's my genre I would love to see mixed with an RPG.
No, I'm lazy. I'm gonna just say RPG with platformer, because I've seen it done really well one time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like as games continue to grow, we're just seeing, like you said earlier, James, a lot of the RPG genre melding with everything else. Like if you looked at FPSs like 10 years ago, you wouldn't see any of the features they have now, whereas nowadays you have perk systems, you have modifications for weapons. You can, like, the ranking systems, like, in certain games, really affect your characters, like in Destiny. So, and that's extending to millions of games. Like, go from Grand Theft Auto 3 to fucking San Andreas, and you have, you know, the strength system and things like that. So, I don't know. I think platformer is a good one. I'd also like, I guess, just third-person action games in general, but I really feel like a lot of games are already doing that. I already feel like a lot of the genres that I do like are incorporating RPG.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a big one, and honestly, I would like to see more like, I think like I can't say it. Yeah, I think with the idea, like, you know, of making choices that'll matter to the whole world, I would love to see even further, like, real-time strategy mixed with a Dragon Age combat. And I know it sounds like, oh, Dynasty Warriors, but no, I'm talking more like Kingdom Under Fire, but mixed out with even further RPG elements of being able to go into towns and get to know your characters, but mixed that real-time combat where there's literally Kingdom Under Fire had 400 people on screen fighting, and you're in the middle of that shit. And you're telling your archers to go into the woods. And you're doing mix that, but then have the Dragon Age part where you can go around and make choices and get to know your party members. You know, that would be, oh my god. I mean, that's like the RPG mind-blowing.
Yeah, you've been thinking about this a lot more than I have.
Oh, yeah, I mean, these are the ideas I have, but I mean, I guess talking about it and actually doing it, I'm sure it's a lot of work to combine all these different genres.
But I mean,
let me say two things real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to say two things real quick. If you want a good example of melding a genre, I think there's a game that is highly underrated from last generation.
Okay.
And it's on the Wii of all things. Okay. And it's a Nintendo game, and it's called Super Paper Mario. Now, a lot of Paper Mario traditionalists hate it because it's not turn-based. But what's great about it is it's a platformer. And
I played that one.
Yeah. And it has,
that was pretty cool.
And it has a cool fucking story. Really wonderful, kind of a very emotionally involving story. Yes, with Mario characters, mind you, but
it's sad as hell.
Yeah, it is sad. It's really a sad story, but it's a great game, and it's highly overlooked. And I think a lot of the Paper Mario purists bash it because it's not turn-based. But you know what? I think it's the best Paper Mario because it was dared to do something that it didn't. Of course, Nintendo, yeah. But then Nintendo went back with Sticker Star and went back to turn-based. Not complaining because I like turn-based, but still, you know? And I should have mentioned this instead of Baldur's Gate, but there's a reason why I didn't mention it. I'll explain the why. There's a BioWare game that's overlooked by everyone. You talk about their great games. You talk about Baldur's Gate 2, which is the game everyone, you know, they talk about Baldur's Gate 1, and everyone's like, yeah, that's when they started. But Baldur's Gate 2, they took it to the next level. And then you talk about...
Okay, real fast. If you mention Jade Empire, I will kill you.
Fuck no, I'm not mentioning Jade Empire.
Okay. No, you can go on.
No. Even Jade Empire's mentioned more than this game is. It's Neverwinter Nights.
Oh. Huh.
Oh, my God. Yeah, well, I mean, that to me was like one of the first, like, MMO single player.
This is kind of taking it back. That a lot of people just like jump on the Skyrim hate bandwagon. I don't hate it, but I just really feel like all they really did was update the graphic engine and create a good-looking world. I really felt like the whole point of the Elder Scrolls games is exploration and choice, and I feel like they didn't do a lot to encourage that.
Choice?
Yeah.
No way!
Absolutely, yeah. That's
no way! What choice in Oblivion did you make that mattered?
Not anything that has to do with the narrative. I'm just saying, like, as a character, creating your own character and having the world react to him.
Skyrim did something for me that a lot of games don't do.
Okay.
And it's like my biggest complaint is when a game doesn't have fast travel. And in Skyrim, the only time I use fast travel is when I had to do a main mission. Skyrim has exploring that no other game has ever done exploring like Skyrim for me.
The thing is, I feel like the world is very interesting, but there aren't a lot of ways to interact with it. I feel like it was the next at the time, like from Morrowind and Oblivion to Skyrim, there wasn't a huge jump in what you can do. I felt like they could have made the game so much more immersive, and they really.
I disagree 100%.
Look,
that would be a long fucking.
Look, just listen to this. Like it's the same kind of free roaming that was in all the games. They could have done cool things that were available in mods forever, like add hunting. They could have allowed you to join bandits, and, like once you were like hunted by guards. They could have done so many more things to help you, like to help make conflicts between the Stormcloaks and the other races seem intriguing, but they didn't really make you feel a part of it. And I felt like they could have done so much more.
Well, see, I was fucking absorbed into that game. Everything I did in that game, from fighting a dragon to talking to the Stormcloaks or betraying someone, I put about 70 hours into that game, and I couldn't ask for a better game. Maybe if I had to put like 400 hours like some people do into that game, maybe I would have got bored and been like, oh, what else can they have done? But the 70 hours I played, from meeting some little fucking dude in a cave that looked like Gollum, to fighting my 5th dragon, to literally finding a kid and kicking him into a river, was and creating Aquaman.
Did I ever tell you about my Coney adventure?
Your Coney?
Well,
what?
Okay, so there are mods. And
I know there's mods,
suggest that everyone do this. There's Killable Children mod.
Oh my god.
At the risk of seeming like a sociopath.
I get where you're going.
Yeah, and a multiple followers mod. So I killed a bunch of children, and I raised them all from the dead, and I armed them. So even though I have a lot of complaints, there were a lot of ways to make the game immersive.
Let me say something about Skyrim real quick. I want to say, here's my thing with the game. Okay. I think James nailed it with the exploration. I think the exploration was better than Oblivion. However, my problem with Bethesda games is that I always have felt that in terms of, like, the world, yeah, they flesh it out, but NPCs, characters, they're kind of just there to serve a purpose, and your character is just kind of like, oh, I'm in jail for no reason, but they free me to be a hero, or I'm going to get my head chopped off. That's my problem. You don't know anything about your fucking character, other than he's either going to get decapitated or he's in jail for no reason.
Well, I mean, I feel like that just makes it easier for you to, like, flesh him out as your own after he escapes. And I feel like...
Yeah, that comes down to creating your own story or wanting a story to be told. And I like both, so I'm in the middle.
I just felt like the world was really... Like, the world itself was kind of immersive, and there's a lot of exploration to do, but there weren't a lot of ways to interact with the world, like, more than, like, you know, fighting and looting things. I wish that there.
That is the world in Skyrim.
Look, James, it doesn't have to be. There could have been so much cool shit.
They done so much cool shit, though. I mean, you gotta be... you have to take down the reins, because you gotta realize they can't do that much. We had Oblivion, and then we had Fallout, and then we had Skyrim in a span of, 6-7 years? That's three humongous games in that short span of time.
Regardless, they didn't really change a lot when it came to the engine and what you could do. They could have invested that time in creating more ways to interact with the world. That's all I'm saying.
They created a whole world, though.
I know they did, and I spent 90 hours in it. I'm just saying, I really would have liked it if there were more things you can do.
Well, yeah, but that's like any game. I would love for more stuff to happen.
Yeah, but I feel like it's reasonable if they didn't add a lot of things. They built a new world, yeah, but everyone does that for every new game that comes out. They didn't. I feel like the important thing is that you add new features that really separate the game, and I feel like they didn't do that. I still really liked it, but I felt like to get a really good experience out of the game, you had to mod the shit out of it. And that's ultimately a sign that a game failed. If it's not satisfying on its own, which it wasn't for me, then it failed. Even though I loved it. I've loved enough to play it for 90 hours. But I just wish that there were more things to do.
Indeed.
That's crazy. But anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to make a whole different video. Is Skyrim any good? But,
no, I hate it!
That ends our RPG discussion. I think we covered pretty broad subjects, but all... everything has to do with the RPG genre. And it's always an interesting thing to see Western RPGs and Japanese RPGs and fighting and blah, blah, blah. I love it when they combine something like Child of Light, but I think the real thing that we all love about RPGs is that there's no other genre that grabs you into these worlds and these characters and just, that's it. They're in your mind for literally ever. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is what, 10 plus years older?
I don't remember all the music.
You remember the music, you remember the characters. I remember first seeing Cloud in the fucking Hercules Coliseum.
Oh, man.
And I remember Dragon Age when your dude, the guy who's training you in the beginning, gets literally killed in the war. I mean, stuff like that, just, it won't leave you. And there's other genres. I mean, I'll never forget the Halo 2 music, and I'll never forget... stuff from other games, but RPGs hold that special place where something happens and it's in your mind and that's it. So I think we all can agree RPGs are pretty much what you do when you want to waste a good 2 weeks of your life.
Dude, Dragon Age Inquisition, it's really bad that I'm going to have a job. And
I warned Kelly. I told her that day, just leave me alone. I need to play.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's all I ask, is one day. I don't care about any other day. Just let me play one day, 12 hours straight. I'm good.
It'll be good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably won't happen.
It'll be very unhealthy times. But in the best way.
Exactly.
You know what? As long as, one day out of your marriage is fine, as long as it's not every day, so.
Exactly.
There you go.
Alright, so I guess that's it. Any last words about RPGs from you guys?
Nothing.
I don't know what the hell you just said.
Something about The Dark Knight Rises being good.
Oh, it's a piece of shit? Okay. So
it's
that's
a good movie,
but
it's not the best Batman movie. I'll leave it at that.
The worst.
Yeah, no, that goes to the Joel Schumacher Batman.
I'll watch that.
No, you will watch Batman and Robin over Dark Knight Rises?
No,
I mean, to be fair,
but that's like really
it does have the best song ever written, Kiss from a Rose.
That's forever.
Okay, that's